Should be close to where the scry-carrying caravan might have gone over the edge.
I'll have a look. Good news, Eric.
I can see. That's quite possibly our lost scries.
Will you be able to retrieve it?
Now that we've identified it, yes.
This was where the farmer Lane mentioned was selling his crops. I should look around. A pair of silver glasses with an intricate cloth connected them. Enchanted.
Could it be? Bryn, please, bring those back to camp.
Of course. court, blaming the Verdant Mines for an explosion near the Vale. Supposedly, this explosion was the cause of the cyclical miasma floods. But we know that the floods were caused by Asylum. This doesn't add up. Let's see. It seems to be information on these various projects. There are a lot of redactions here. Seems like someone was trying to hide something. Bitter cold. And everywhere. Aeroliths acting up again.
I wonder if the plants have adapted to endure sudden frosts like these. Sapper's Lake. The surrounding trees emitted an alchemical sap. It was a sought-after resource.
I'll need to get these back to Lane. See what we've got here. These all seem to be speeches that the Eye delivered. These are dated 40 years ago, but I could still imagine him saying all of these things today. The Guild District. I should look for tomes on the Tarmakine smithing style, and a registry of guild members here. Aha. Tarmakine Smithing. A compendium on vented metalwork. Solo will love this. This appears to be a registry of smiths. It's dated prior to the retreat to Cassidy's home. There's one Tarmakine smith, Xavier Nibreop. Looks like he had a workshop in the Iron Walk.
The Undergreen. This is where the seediest of deals were done.
shop should be up ahead. Sturdy. Not made for traveling like Sola's. Xavier's diary. From a quick skim, it doesn't look like he was a particularly happy man. Another set of schematics. This is sure to be a small.
The discoveries we can glean from your findings are incredible, Bryn. This schematic is much more complicated than the previous one, though. And I'm starting to realize why Tarmakind is a lost art.
What do you mean?
Xavier used a traditional forge because he needed to reach much higher temperatures to work the signature Tarmakind vents. Unfortunately, my forge is built for transport. It's unable to sustain those higher temperatures.
Could we improve it?
Dom had that idea of a set of enchanted hammers. They, combined with the forge, might be enough heat.
He'll be glad to hear it.
Could you maybe get him to enchant them on my behalf?
Why? I'm sure he'd be thrilled to help you.
I know. We're just not on the same page right now. I'd rather be further in my investigation before I speak to him. Besides, he mentioned he'd need some cinder linen for the enchantment, and I was thinking you could scavenge some for us.
All right. This is a little strange, but I guess I can talk to him for you.
Thanks. This treatise on...
can't believe we actually did it. It's been a pleasure working with your band. If we could match the drive and efficiency you all show, this place would be fixed in months.
Frankly, this is the life, isn't it? The thrill of discovery, the moments where the risks pay off. I don't want to just idle. There's so much to do and see in here. So keep the challenges coming.
You've got a deal. Even if you do make me miss my field days.
Just hop on our superior scry. It's just like you're there. Only you don't get clawed by drakes.
True. I do not miss that part. I'll get the runners on hauling that crate up and let you know when I know more. Hey you. How's my favorite point doing?
Really well, like always. Thought I'd see how you were holding up.
Your band's doing good work, but the whole hold is buzzing. Lots going on, but it's managed. Forces me to be up all day more often than I should. I should talk to Dharm about that, actually.
Dharm uses some kind of sleep aid. Lane could help you with that.
Oh, are they the secret weapon? I wondered how Dharm does it. I can stay up past noon regularly, but I wear down if I do it too much.
To be fair, I think that's just Dharm. Fueled by his love of enchantment and solar in equal measure. The scouts probably appreciate you being available all day, but that will wear you down if you're not careful. You must have a day watch head who fills in when you sleep.
Yes, but I can't resist getting involved when it's important. I'll talk to Lane. Maybe they have some extra tricks up their sleeve. Teams are already working on the recovery of that chest you found.
Think we'll get lucky and it'll be the scries?
I'm allowing myself a glimmer of hope. All the research we did says it's possible.
Hey, Dom. Sola was wondering if you could enchant a set of hammers after all. She's finally ready to use them.
Of course, but why isn't she asking me to do it herself?
She's been a bit busy with the Tarmakine stuff she's working on.
Right. I'm happy to enchant the hammers. I'll need cinder linen to do it, though. Do you have any on you?
As a matter of fact, I do. Here.
Perfect. I've still got some of the byproduct from your drake harvest as well. I'll enchant them right away. Do you think I should be the one to bring them to Sola? Or would she prefer that you do it?
Why don't you bring them? This Tarmakine project is really important to her, and I think it would mean a lot if you helped out.
You're right. She's the love of my life, after all. I'm happy to help. But maybe you could join me? After all, you're the one she's been entrusting the details of her work to. Maybe she'd rather you be there.
I could come, if you really think that's best, but it kind of seems like the two of you should...
Great, it's settled. We'll both go.
Yeah. Okay.
This isn't working. The forge isn't hot enough.
I've stoked the forge before.
No, this work is somewhat more precise. It's not all bad news. I can forge a set of Tarmakind arms now. I'll give you the design. But the remaining pieces are too large to make without reaching the temperatures that Xavier was able to at his forge.
Solar, it's all right. We can figure this out. Maybe we need something stronger than cinder linen to augment the hammers.
No, enchanting isn't the solution. Sev and I need to head into Denevron to get Xavier's forge. It's built for this.
And it's exceptionally heavy. You and Sev are strong, but do you really think you'll be able to get it back here?
We have to try.
My love, I know this is important to you, but do you think Xavier's forge is a long-term solution? The caravan won't be able to carry it. You'll need to leave it behind when we start traveling again.
I don't want to keep traveling. I want to settle down. I want to stay in one place. I want a home.
But we're weavers. Our home is the open road. Traveling is what we do.
It doesn't have to be.
Staying in one place, it's not the life we decided on for ourselves.
It's not the life I thought I could have. But here, in the Enclave, it's possible. We could be weavers and stay. You could enchant. I could teach smithing. I could unravel the Tarmakind techniques and pass them on to a new generation.
You've clearly spent a great deal of time thinking this through. Without me. It's not what I planned for myself, though. Or even a life I want, for that matter.
But we're married. If we don't want the same life, where does that leave us?
I don't know.
Maybe I should give you two some privacy to talk this out.
It's fine, Bryn. Clearly, Sola would rather speak to you about her hopes and dreams than me. Maybe it's best if we take some time apart. I'll go.
Fine.
Sola, are you...
I don't even know what just happened. I can't believe he just left.
He was caught off guard. It will be okay, I promise.
I don't know anymore. I've always wanted to build something like this.
How you doing, Sola? That discussion with Dom was a little rough.
I'm frustrated and hurt. I feel like I don't ask for much, and when I finally do, he acts mystified.
He absolutely could have handled that better. But I think he was genuinely caught off guard.
How is that possible? I feel like I've been trying to tell him for ages. Or hint at it, at least.
Maybe that was the first time he really understood, though.
Maybe. I just need some time. And space.
I don't know if space is the best.
I can't have that conversation again right now. Especially if you won't consider... Never mind.
So what did we find out? Any big revelations? What's wrong?
This isn't what I expected at all. I think you need to read this yourself.
Well, sure, but... all right. This is one of Lucia's journals, right?
Yes.
I washed my hands of it, but they pressed onwards. He was fully aware of what I taught them, of course. What I'd taken from the Institute. And so, he let it happen. He knew they were going to try to pierce the veil, and now dozens are dead. He knew Vile. Broke bread with them. But when they and the rest of the Verdant Minds went off to die, Kenrick just watched.
And now read this. A transcript of one of his speeches, delivered around the same time that journal entry was written.
We will root out these dissenter vermin at all levels of administration. Their ideology has claimed too many lives to be allowed to breathe free. In the meantime, to ensure peace and prosperity, martial law is in effect across remaining settlements. So he let the explosion happen and used it for his own political gain. Wow. He's a real piece of work.
He didn't exactly engineer this, but he isn't innocent either. He sat back and allowed the Verdant Minds to try breaking through the veil. Then they unintentionally triggered a huge explosion, conveniently wiping themselves out in the process. And just like that, the Eye had a scapegoat on whom to blame the cyclical miasma floods. He used panic and fear to secure himself a spot as provisional leader. But everyone eventually forgot that provisional bit. I genuinely didn't expect this at all. I thought I'd find out that he'd just been mildly conniving all his life, not this.
So, what do we do about this then?
We need to confront him. He may be the Enclave's leader, but we can still take him to task on what he's covered up.
Wait, what? You really think that'll work?
Yes. I'll present him with our evidence, and he'll have to give us an explanation.
I'm open to the idea. But what makes you think he'll want to speak to us?
I'm confident in my powers of persuasion. I may be young, but a lifetime spent orbiting the seats of power in Judea, well, let's just say that I know how to appeal to a politician's better judgment.
Well, I trust your judgment.
Excellent. I'll finish writing this dossier, and I'll meet you in Cassidon's Hold. Have faith.
It's not you who I'm lacking faith in. Trust me. Anyway, I'll see you at the Hold.
I won't be long.
I've been reading over those caravan logs you brought in when helping Arik.
A little light reading before bed?
They do help me sleep. You know how important that is. The Enclave had 3 secrets to their trade success. These logs are good insight into how they leveraged that.
And you would very much like to tell me about how they did it, right?
Yes, I do want to tell someone, so brace yourself. So, the 3 keys to their success, right? The first was no wars. The Enclave never fought. Instead, they made it clear with loom gates and the arcs that messing with them was tactically doomed.
So they could trade with everyone, even 2 nations at war with one another.
That was their second key. Unique products. The Enclave was the only place producing their enchantments. Try to declare a trade sanction against them for trading with your foe, and suddenly your foe has an edge you just lost.
That's a deft bit of maneuvering.
Their third key was having access to land and sea trade routes. Renland and Taza both relied on Enclave trade by land. Either one attempting to cut off caravans would provoke a response from the other. And the Enclave's north was unassailable by sea. That's why they built Cassidon's Hold.
Sharing trade knowledge is your happy place, isn't it, Kaz?
Oh yes. And do you know there's another place that's got 2 of these 3 advantages?
Where?
Your home, Calnhaven.
We don't have access to sea trade. And I wouldn't say we're at peace either. But you're thinking of our steel.
Best in the Maida. And you're the only people who know how to make it. Not only that, but while the Empire would love to put you back under their heel, they can't, can they?
No. Because we've started trading with other nations like Renland who wouldn't want to lose access.
That's peace.
So all we need is a port and we could be Enclave the Second?
Pretty much. I'm sure your leaders...
The Adelrad.
Right. Are aware of that. Probably the Empire too. Just fascinating how history repeats.
If we ever get out of here, I'll talk to my mother about this. Show her life on the roads helped me learn some things.
We'll get out. And when we do, you can say a big hello from us all.
Have you taken a closer look at the glasses I found in the farmer's stand?
I can hardly believe it. My mother's craftwork is unmistakable. Enchanted to adjust with degrading vision.
So we found your father! Lane's notes mentioned his name was Eugenius Osphine.
I guess so.
I thought you'd be happy.
No, I am.
Aurea, what's really going on? Be honest.
I thought I came from a long line of weavers. Now... Never mind.
Aurea.
I need to be alone right now.
Hey. I just wanted to say, I'm here for you when...
When I'm ready, I know. I'm still not ready to talk, but thank you.
Ah, Bryn. Hello. Yes, hello. That's right. That's the correct thing to say, isn't it? Is it?
Breathe, Tom.
Yes. Yes, of course. I just not feeling myself.
Solar?
Yes. Yes, flames, yes. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened there.
I think maybe you two have some things to talk through. After a little time to cool off.
I had no idea she wants to stop traveling.
We all have to slow down sometime. We can't be on the road our whole life.
Well, yes, she had, I suppose, brought it up once or twice, but I assumed she meant later. Like our dotage.
At least it's out there now. Take a bit. Think about what she said. What she might want, and what you want. There's a way to make it work.
I shall. Yes, because I would very much like it to, as you say, work.
Never talked about your family, son.
I don't have much family to talk about anymore.
Why do I feel as if I'm about to have my time wasted?
Please allow me to present my research. I promise it won't take but a moment. I've compiled a dossier concerning an event that occurred in the Enclave around 35 years ago.
And what event would that be, pray tell?
The attempt to pierce the veil. I can only assume you were familiar with the Verdant Mines.
The name rings a bell, though it's been decades, as you said.
They were the subject of many of your speeches. It's interesting that your memory on the subject is hazy.
You'll forgive me for not remembering the exact wording or subject of any of the hundreds of speeches I've delivered throughout my career.
That's not a problem. I can summarize my findings. Firstly, our evidence suggests, with a high level of confidence, that you were aware of the Verdant Mines' plans to pierce the veil. Secondly, in support of that assertion, you gained this knowledge through your close relationship with the enchantress known as Lucia.
I never knew any enchantress by that name.
That's odd, since you seem to have been a recurring character in her personal journals. Though, truth be told, she didn't seem particularly fond of you in the later entries. So, back to the attempt to pierce the veil. You knew...
I knew that it would go poorly.
You knew?
Of course I did. But what does it matter?
You could have stopped it.
But I didn't. Pray tell, Lawkeeper, what goal did you hold in your mind as you traveled here?
I wanted to learn the truth about the past, to uncover what had been hidden.
Lane Free Selectus. That's who you are, yes?
That's correct. Though, I'm not sure how... never mind. But my research...
House Lectus of Udea. It's no wonder you felt the need to make something of yourself. Well, today will not be that day. Nor, I believe, will any. I won't waste my breath debating a jumped-up little snot from a house so consumed by cupidity that it can't even keep its hearths lit. Once a failure of a house, always a failure of a house. And it shows in your insipid rag parading as research.
Did you just call me a jumped-up little snot?
No, I didn't. You must have misheard me.
I...
Will that be all from you? I have other matters to attend to.
Skies! That is enough. Lane deserves better than this disrespect.
You dare to speak of respect? You, who broke into our home, who undid Asylum, who attempts to destroy decades of societal progress.
I'm trying to help rebuild the Enclave, not destroy it. Self-important jerks like you aren't helping.
I have single-handedly held back the tide of oblivion. I'm not self-important. I'm a damned hero. You and your lackey will remove yourselves from my presence, or I'll call the guards.
Bryn, thanks, but it's not worth it. I need to go.
Skies above. I was worried this would happen.
I can't even begin to explain how I feel. This is a disaster.
Did I make it worse?
No. No, not at all. Not for a moment. You were very kind and strong and supportive and courageous. It reminded me of why I left.
Home.
Everything back there was all about your house. Your actions or intent never mattered. And when I tried to forge a different path in life, the knives came out. I had no real choice but to leave. I thought I had left it all in my past, but now, here we are.
I'm really sorry, Lane. It must be hard to be reminded of that. Do you want to talk about it?
I think I need a little while to consider my next move. Maybe a long while. Sorry.
That's all right. I'll be here when you need me.
Thanks, Bryn.
I suppose if anywhere we're going to be too full of magic, it would be this place.
A lot of the records were lost, but we know the real innovation happened down here.
And the Enclave's innovations took a lot of magic. Right.
to reach wherever they were needed across the Enclave.
for your mantle.
did he know?
Lane, are you all right?
I'm just rattled. I never told you, or anyone else, my full name. Not because I didn't want you to know, or because I thought you'd judge me, just that I'm allowed to hold information back.
And the eye threw it at you like he'd known you your whole life.
Yes, and he accurately described the state of my house, too. Which is not a secret, particularly, but...
I wonder how he knew.
That's the very question that's been torturing me. As far as I know, we're the only people to ever make it through the Veil. And I was most certainly born after it was raised. There's no other way for information or news to make it through.
Before you ask, it wasn't me who told him.
But that raises the question, doesn't it? Who among us betrayed our trust? And how do they even know in the first place?
To be honest with you, I don't love the idea that we've got someone in our midst sharing information like that. I can't think of anyone in our camp who might intentionally hurt you. But that doesn't make it okay. When we find out who did this, I think you're owed an apology.
Yes, I suppose we'll need to keep our eyes open. Stay vigilant, Bryn.
A cave should not be this hot.
There are times I wish our forebears had cut a few corners. But no, everything still works decades later. It just works wrong.
useful.
Not as protective, but great against the elements.
Now that you mention it.
Only takes Casman. going to need more feathers.
Well, that did something. I should go check with the axle that it worked. I hope I'm not interrupting anything with her and the spindle.
So the curves of the metal suggest...
I definitely think an enchanter had a hand in this, as well as someone with intimate knowledge of the loom gates.
Those two people could possibly be one person even. Though I can't fathom who it would be.
Keeping yourselves busy, I see?
It's a conundrum for the ages, that's for sure.
Ah, Bryn. You're back.
You've done amazing work with the resonance modulator. I'm certain this will be a turning point for us.
Thanks. But how do you know it worked?
The loom gate started glowing a strange color before you arrived. I took it as a hint that you'd succeeded.
Spoiled the surprise.
I'm sure the Surgeborn will be plenty surprised when they next try to use the loom gates.
Suffice to say, we're thrilled, Bryn. In a short time, you've done a lot to help us. We were, obviously, a little hesitant to trust newcomers.
Our first impression wasn't the best.
But now, we're in a much better situation when it comes to survival.
Thank goodness you had a dashing and deadly dame to do all your dangerous deeds. That's me. I'm the dame.
We don't do titles here, so don't get any big ideas.
Sure thing. Axel. Or is Khan Arteme better?
I was elected. That's completely different.
Isla's got the right idea. But just saying. Nobody's bowing to the almighty spindle.
I wouldn't complain if they did.
So, let's recap for a moment. 1. We've stopped Surgeborn from navigating the Loomgate network by using the resonance modulator. 2. We've made huge leaps forward in regaining control over the Arcs. 3. We've armed and supplied the scouts.
It certainly doesn't cast our last decade of work in a forgiving light, does it?
Listen, you've been surviving this crisis for a long time the only way you knew how. But now you have a path to move forward. Your people can choose to follow it, or dwell on past mistakes. Are we ready to face this threat head-on together?
Yes. You're right. Of course you are. We're at the point, resource-wise, where we can start making moves.
I don't really want to speak to my father right now. But I agree that it's time we put pressure on him to do something. Anything. Regardless of what he does, you've earned our support, Bryn. But first, I'd actually like to steal this elected official away for a while. If you don't mind, I have some notes to go over with her.
By all means, have fun.
I suppose I'll just get right to it. Why do you treat me differently?
What do you mean?
Everyone else gets the stern you, the you who's in charge, the Axel. But I get the friendly face, the compliance, this you who I don't understand. Is it because of my dad? Because everyone answers to him? Are you trying to get close to him through me? I can't handle it, Haroon. I need to know that I'm not just being manipulated by everyone around me.
It's not because of that.
Then... what is it?
I spend time around you because I want to. To see you, to speak with you, to work alongside you. To see the look in your eyes when you solve a problem. Skies, I shouldn't... None of this is... If we could find somewhere else, beyond the gaze of the hold...
Haroon. Stop. Take my hand. And we'll go. I have a place in mind. I didn't see it before, but... I think... I would like to tell you of the ways in which you are important to me, too.
Let me guess. You've come to ask me to apologize to your naive lawkeeper.
No.
No? Isn't that what self-proclaimed heroes do? Demand justice for your friends?
I would never ask Lane to waste their energy on a conversation with you again. Do I think how you spoke to them was a disgusting, brutish display? Absolutely. But justice doesn't come with an apology from you, does it?
They attacked my legacy. I merely put them in their place.
Exactly. Without remorse, an apology would just be posturing. No. Justice is served in the way Lane still chooses kindness every day, despite people like you trying to tear them down.
Their research tore me.
Justice is served in the way Lane gets to continue living as their wonderful, talented self. Whereas you have to keep living as yourself. As someone who is clearly in so much pain over his own existence, he needs to make other people feel small, so he can look big.
By the flames, save your idealistic speeches for someone who cares.
So we agree. There is no need for you to ever speak to or about Lane again.
Our preferences align, then. Congratulations on successfully recalibrating the loom gates. It's an impressive achievement, considering your thimble broke the harness and prevented us from resetting the loom gate connections. Helping with this initiative was the least you could do for us.
It's amazing what happens when we pool our resources.
Normally, I would impose sanctions on the Axel for inviting an outsider to access the harness. A rather grave breach of protocol, if I'm being honest. But thankfully for her, this aligns with our upcoming security efforts.
And what efforts would those be?
Confidential, I'm afraid.
Oh, Bryn. You were right about the requisitions.
Obviously. What's going on?
Arik, why don't you fill her in?
Our plan worked. The Eye is mobilizing the scouts for a large-scale attack on the Surgeborn.
I take it the Axle and the Spindle put him up to this?
Yes. Not that Khan Stanold is admitting that. He claims that with the supply shortage taken care of and the Ark restoration underway, now is the time to strike.
And Bryn is receiving due credit for all her work, I'm sure.
No.
So what's his plan?
The scouts will stage a distraction in the underworks, while the Eye and the Spindle do something to the Grand Gate. That's all I know. The Eye wants everyone to convene at Cassidon's Hold for a speech to learn more.
He wants us there.
Khan Stanold loves an audience. Doesn't matter who's in it.
I thought you'd be happier about all this.
I have reservations about the Eye launching a plan using my scouts without consulting me.
The reality is, the leader of the Enclave has the power and influence we need to take a stand against the Surgeborn, regardless of how likable the man holding the title may be.
Power and influence, sure, but not the expertise.
My gut is telling me the Eye can't be trusted. People like him don't change overnight. Arik's right. We should proceed with caution.
It can't hurt to hear his big speech before jumping to conclusions.
I'm here to escort you. Talk to me when you're ready.
Mochi, mochi. Mochi, mochi.
It sounds like your experiment with the loom gates went well.
With the axle and the spindle? Yeah, it turned out better than we could have hoped.
That's good news.
Are you worried about something?
Worried? No. Holding the infinite weave of possibilities in my mind. Yes. Do you think the resonance modulator could be used to keep certain kinds of people out of the Loomgate network too?
I'm really not sure. What makes you think about that?
I believe that the Eye would lock us out if he could. He loathes us. He loathes me. If he has the means to hinder us, he'll use them. And we've just handed those means to his daughter.
Well, you haven't had a chance to talk to Isla yet. She definitely wouldn't let that happen. At the very least, she'd give us a heads up. Why don't you talk to her sometime? I think you'd get along.
I suppose I should, yes. After my next round of experiments, perhaps. Speaking of, I should really get back to it. I'm glad to hear that all is not doomed, too. Thanks.
Not a problem.
So, we've spoken about stories. The kinds that are lost to time or war. But what about those stories that are yet to be written? What is the story of Bryn, Slayer of Surgeborn, point of Oria Silverbeak's legendary weaver band?
I suppose that's me in a nutshell, isn't it?
Yes, but what else? I can't help but wonder whether there will be anyone else who's indelibly part of your story.
I need someone who can match my accomplishments, of course. A mighty warrior. Or a tactical genius.
Or perhaps a renowned scholar?
Not what I pictured for myself, but maybe.
They'd have to be extraordinarily prestigious, of course.
You've stirred up quite a bit of trouble.
Oh?
I've just read the brief from the last council meeting. The Eye is facing united opposition. Everyone's calling for him to make a move against the Surgeborn. Keep your weapons close, Bryn. Ready to head to Cassidan's Hold?
Still need...
I'm here with... Ready to head to Cassidan's Hold?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Great. Hey, while it's just the two of us, I'll be deploying to the Underworks almost immediately after we arrive. Watch Khan Stanild for me, will you? I know Oriel wants you to give him a chance, but he can't be trusted.
I'm always ready for anything, Eric.
I know. Let's move.
Decades of caution have been rewarded, friends. For this moment, and not one sooner, is the precise time to strike. Today, we wrangle our lands free from the Surgeborn's grasp and reclaim our hearth once more, whatever it takes. None of this could be possible without the esteemed prowess of the Spindle. Her work on the Arks has laid the foundation for my plan. She and I will proceed to the Grand Gate at once. Scouts, you have your orders. It's time. Whatever it takes.
Bryn, you need to come with me.
Now?
Yeah, no time to explain. And Aurea, you should get on the scry.
All right. Whatever you need.
Let's go. Sev, I know you said there's no time to explain, but want to give me a clue as to where we're going?
So, obviously I've been working with the Eye. Well, he had me repair the Grand Gate. It's connected to this place called the Source, and, I guess that's where the Surgeborn came from. He's got this plan to go there and solve this problem once and for all.
Right. I heard that part of his speech already. What does this have to do with us sprinting like an Ash Peak Drake is on our heels?
So there's, it's better if I just show you.
Perfect. As punctual as you are daring.
Sev, what's going on?
I don't know.
Oh, don't blame him. He's merely a puppet. Ironic, given I'm the one all tangled
So you can talk?
Of course. Only language could allow me to prey upon Kenrick's exquisite inadequacies.
You've been talking to the Eye? Manipulating him?
Into a foolhardy and preposterous plan that only an absolute imbecile could think was worth pursuing, yes. I've been down here for years, laying groundwork and learning what I could about your people. All towards a moment when I could convince Kenrick to act. I almost despaired he ever would. And then, along comes you.
Me?
Oh yes. Kenrick is threatened by you. Terrified even. In your brief time inside the Veil, you've accomplished so much more than he has in decades. Not that that's saying much. Still, you are the perfect catalyst for change. We have that in common, as you will discover in time. So now, he's going to open a gate to the heart of the Enclave, convinced he can recover it from us. And the one person I worry might be able to stop us is here, talking to me. You're fast, but even you can't run to the rescue now.
You've thought of everything. Except, why tell me all this?
Because you're too late to stop us. And even if you weren't, no one would believe you.
Sure. Unless they were listening.
Quit taunting it, Bryn. You've got work to do.
We must retreat!
No! I'm staying to fix this. Do whatever you can to buy me time.
The spindle told her to buy time.
Let's hope I let it take too long.
Seriously about to fight that thing?
The spindle told her to bide time.
It doesn't take too long.
Bryn's seriously about to fight that thing.
Ready?
As ready as...
Great. What?
Detonation.
Now. Sev, I know you... You... Sure.
Bryn is seriously about to fight that thing.
The spindle told her to bide time.
It doesn't take too long.
that thing! The spindle told her to buy time.
Let's hope Ida doesn't take too long.
Brenna's seriously about to fight that thing.
The spindle told her to buy time.
Let's hope Ida doesn't take too long.
For much longer.
She moved.
Okay?
She can't be. No.
What? What's she doing to you?
Hopefully not what I think she is.
Whatever it takes. Spirits. Okay. They're going to need me out there. Just up and at it, girl. Aurea. She'll know what to do. Hey, Eric. I'm so sorry for your loss. How are you holding up after everything?
Thank you, but I don't think you want the real answer to that question.
I really do. You look like a pot about to boil over, and your people need you focused. So let me have it.
I knew Kenrick Stanold was incompetent, but this... I didn't think he was capable of this. He'd a plan that requires utmost secrecy, he called it. Swearing we would be given what we needed to know when the time was right. And then... nothing. A big speech, empty promises of victory, and the dawning realization among my team that we were a distraction. Meaningless forces to draw the Surgeborn's attention. And at that, we succeeded. While Kenrick, goddamn Stanold, ran for his life, they descended on my people like vultures swarming a corpse. Good people died because of that man. Good people will carry scars because of that man. It should have been him.
Bryn, I cannot fathom how you must have felt in that fight against the Surgeborn.
As strange as it is to say, I had the easy part.
Yes. The tragedy about Isla. So much talent lost. Wasted, even.
The bar I'd set for my expectations of him was low. Subterranean. You would have to plumb tremendous depths to even glimpse it. And yet, I never would have expected him to stoop quite so low as he did at the Grand Gate.
Hey, Lane. How are you holding up?
Oh, fine. And you? Are you recovering from your latest near-death experience? We were all rather worried about you.
Thanks for the concern. A little sore today, but no lasting injuries.
Good. Good.
Are you sure you're fine?
Yes. Just ruminating on the numerous disastrous failures that led to this. Not by us, but...
We'd all love to predict the future. But smart as you are, even you can't do that.
Isla would still be here if I could.
I know. She saved us all.
Scholars rarely agree on much. But if there's one philosophy many of us share, it's that we must understand our past to build better futures. Maybe I couldn't have prevented this tragedy, but I can't help but mine the past for clues of what was to come. If only to stop it from ever happening again.
I'll sacrifice everything for this.
Tell me, do you plan to make near-death experiences your career, or is it more of a hobby?
Casmin, I'm all right.
That's not the point, Bryn. I was really scared.
I know.
You're okay. That's what matters. Sorry, I just felt myself going back to a dark place.
I understand. I'm here, though. Safe and sound like everyone else.
You're right. We're all here. That's what matters. Just do me a favor and rest before you go after that thing again. I know you. You don't like to leave anything unfinished.
For your sake, and mine, I'll rest first.
Hey,
Hey,
how do you feel?
okay now, but it was touch and go for a while. Lane will probably never forgive me. For that matter, I might not either.
I knew that fight. The spindle, giving her life like that. It'd be on your mind all night. How could it not? And I've been mulling over what to tell you this morning. I had a speech planned, but you don't need a speech. You're like me. It'd ring false. So I'm going to tell you what I'd need to hear after something like that. You did good. It was an awful situation, but you stood up and did what needed to be done without hesitating. Not many people have that kind of grit.
I can't shake the feeling that if I had done something more, the spindle would still be with us.
She made her choices same as you. She was a weaver, and we do whatever it takes. Look, I know you, Bryn. You're made of stern stuff. You've the mountains in your bones. Any sense of doubt or being shaken is just snowfall. Temporary, and it'll slide off soon.
That was the part you practiced, right?
Yes. But that doesn't make it less true.
Okay. Okay. Thoughts on what we do next? We obviously need to deal with that beast. But where to start?
We need to get everyone together. Our band, Arakim too. And I want you to call the meeting.
Me?
Yes, you.
Do you know what's amazing?
Tell me.
Digging into the past and salvaging relics that change your understanding of everything we do. Maybe this is old hat for you, because you've been free to do it for so long.
I haven't been doing it that long, but I can't imagine it will ever get old.
Well, good. So, our relics of the day are those scries we recovered, which work very much like yours, which demolishes my original bet on ours having been affected by this surge somehow. My best guess now is that they're working so well because they were packed up so tight. I floated the idea with Dharm and he was pretty into it. Want to join me in following up?
Oh, don't need me to do the asking this time?
No. I'm getting the hang of this.
It's good you're here, Bryn. We have a mystery to solve.
A scrinundrum. Ah, no, that doesn't work.
Scriddle?
Ah, damn it. That's so much better.
Oh, you two are fun. To business, though, what we need to really work on the scries is a new set of the tools I use to maintain ours.
Do you not have them?
Lost in our mad dash through the Veil. I hadn't felt the urgent need to replace them just yet, but if we're to compare and contrast our 3 classes of scry, we'll need them.
We haven't needed these tools until now?
Like most Enclave enchantments, the scries are incredibly durable. I normally maintain ours every few months. We had more pressing matters at hand until this mystery reared its head.
What exactly do these tools involve?
They are so very fiddly. Small optics for examining the casing, tiny enchanted ones to target the patterns that form the images and keep the sound clear. That sort of thing. Like tuning an instrument.
Could we not borrow some from Arek's people?
I tried. I would consider their tools insufficient to our needs.
He's saying they're bad.
I'm saying they're bad, but politely.
This is usually the part where I find myself wrestling a giant lizard or something. So you might as well just tell me now.
Bryn, you never fail to cut to the heart of the matter, but I have good tidings. We need you to pick a flower.
A flower? That's it?
Not quite. It's from a plant renowned for its magical sensitivity called Mirian's Bloom.
And the tricky part, Dom was telling me, is that it can't be moved via any kind of teleportation. No loom gates and such.
Indeed, and complicating matters, it withers very quickly once picked. Lane and I can stabilize it, but we'll need our workstations here to do so, which means...
I'm going to have to run.
Pretty much. Sorry about that.
I'll just stretch extra. Do we know where I can find some?
Yes, in the swamp not too far from here, on the other side of the hollow.
Sounds like a plan.